Hello, lovely people. Thank you for being tuned in today. Podcasting from Ontario, California, welcome to Fractured Poet, a podcast for all of you poetically insane individuals who love getting lost in the art of poetry. I am your host, Katrina Wisniewski, just another person in the world obsessed with words, striving to make sense of it all. Today's episode is another splurge of random poetry. There isn't a specific theme to this particular show, just a bunch of randomness. Rather than having just two poems, I threw in a third so you can get the pleasure of listening to three poems today. All three of these poems were written at different times, very spread apart. One is a life reference, while the other has another Alice in Wonderland feel to it, and the last one maybe a little Renaissance type. The first poem is called Land of Wonders. So young she was, such a naive little girl. Caterpillars who smoke hookah, flowers who sing songs and talk trash, being harassed by a pack of soldier-like playing cards, and a bitchy queen yelling, "Off with their heads," at every chance she gets. So curious this little girl was, chasing after white rabbits and falling down rabbit holes. What a mess. I took an art class my senior year of high school, and I remember seeing that hookah smoking caterpillar on the wall I was next to, and it was sitting on a mushroom. And for some reason, I thought of that picture and it triggered this poem. But since there's nothing left to say about that poem because there's really no relevance and I don't even really know what my thought process was, I will move on to the next one. The second poem is called The Song of Life. Her life is a song waiting to be written, realizing that it takes time to render a title, which eventually leads to words of expression, creating one verse after another, yet somehow she manages to get stuck at the bridge, a crossroad, left to wonder, what is the connection? Where does it go from here? Choosing to walk away and contemplate the rest, she still has some song left in her to sing. Now, I don't know much about songwriting, but I do know that it is very similar as to how a poem is written. Who knows? Maybe I just wrote a song. I realized after writing this poem that writing a song, writing poetry, and writing your own life is very similar to each other. At least that's how I see it anyway. Writing a song, even though I have never written one, takes a lot of time to compose, like poetry. Some think of a title first, then start on the lyrics or stanzas. Others tend to write a song or a poem first and then come up with a title based on what is written. From a poet's standpoint, I have done both of those methods. Life, on the other hand, is not so easy to put together. I only compare the three because they are all difficult to master. I know life is completely different than writing a song or a poem. Or maybe life has no relation to either one and I'm just talking out of my ass. But my point is, no one really knows what they want to do in life. I think about the moment I graduated high school. The first thing that came to my mind was, what in the hell am I going to do now? School was practically my life. It was all I knew. I felt completely lost and confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do, let alone what I should go to college for. I can't tell you how many times I changed my major when I was going to school. However, I could be totally wrong because some of you knew what your life was going to be about the second you stepped into high school or the moment you graduated high school. Some people had it all figured out. Getting to my point, I have one. Not everyone's lives are written for them. A lot of us have to figure out life on our own and create our own life. And the majority of the time, it takes a long time to find that life. We don't all come with a title. We choose what defines our life, and to get there takes a lot of wrong turns and moments of getting stuck at that bridge. Some of us still have some song left in us to sing. This last poem describes one of my favorite movies. Let's see if you can guess which movie I'm referring to. This one is called A Man and His Stick. A knight's tale it shall be. Life is more than what some can see. A man and his horse, his lance in hand, strike a pose. It's a sport no one knows. As one knight fights another, it only takes 4 to announce a winner. A splintering lance or a falling knight, 2 men and their horses, a knight's tale it shall be. Well, in case you didn't figure out what movie I was referring to, it was A Knight's Tale. I practically gave it away in the first line since, it started off as A Knight's Tale it shall be. But anyway, I wrote this poem while watching the movie. It doesn't have any significance, just admiring the movie and its content. I love the Renaissance period. I have attended a couple of Ren fairs and had the opportunity to watch an actual jousting match. Just intriguing and entertaining to watch. Just love it. But just another poem written by someone who is poetically insane. And unfortunately, that concludes the show. To those of you who are always tuning in, and even those who are just starting to tune in, I hope you liked what you heard and you tune in next time. You can catch this and future episodes at anchor.fm/Fractured Poet. This episode of Fractured Poet was written and produced by me, Katrina Wisniewski. Music by both Alternative Rock Volume 1 and Rock Electronica Volume 4 from the website called freeplaymusic.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Fractured Poet. And as always, thanks for listening, and until next time.